Order filled. Order filled.
Hello?
Oh, hey, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Sorry for the delay. Yeah, I can hear you, Jaden.
Oh, perfect. Share screen over here. Here we go.
Oh, what happened overnight? And keep the highs and lows back up.
What a move.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay. All right. What's up, guys? Good morning.
Oh, it took both Asia high and its low in one move.
How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Jaden, what bias do you have for us today?
See, I was kind of dealing with the same thing that you guys were yesterday. Like I'm not sold on the big bullish move yet, and that's why I was so
Yeah.
hesitant to click the buy button. But like at what point do we have to flip? Like, at what point do we
Yeah.
At what point does that become invalidated? Like, I was looking at the orb, and like I was saying that you know I see it, like, and I believe that we're gonna go hit this first standard deviation, but with the risk to reward, I'm not sure how far up are we gonna go? Like, what was throwing me off is if we look at the weekly chart. I mean, we had all these top wicks. We didn't invert this weekly fair value gap, but there's still 2 days and 8 hours left of this weekly candle. So like I kind of want to see another jab down. And do we tag it and come into this H4 fair value gap?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of gonna come in with like a little bearish bias,
Yeah.
and then potentially look to buy down here.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are looking for. Inevitably, a move down from these highs because it's becoming a little. The Nasdaq bars are a little unrelentless. I mean, they don't stop buying, and the question really starts is when do we flip and just start buying with them? I have the impression that as soon as I flip my bias bullish, the bear bias ends up playing out. That's why I kind of like hold it so tight until we do have that like massive displacement to the upside. Because we are
Hmm.
still within that range of that 4 hour gap. Because we traded here back in May 28th on this is Wednesday of last week. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And like we could even probably come like sweep the highs. But like I don't know if we get full on displacement through it. Like I've been getting married to the idea of us like coming to visit that weekly fair value gap. Like it's a clean low down there, but
yeah,
like nothing's it's not
Order
wanting to go
filled.
down there.
not want to move at all to the downside. And sometimes I've noticed with myself,
Order filled.
it's not dangerous to get married to a bias
Order
because
filled.
at least you'll just stay on one side and you won't lose money. but you will be waiting a while, so there could be opportunity cost. I'm at that point where I'm adjusting based off the opportunity cost. I'm like, all right, how long do I have to wait for the short to play out? How long do I have to wait for metals to move? Is NASDAQ ever going to fall? And then I see myself looking at the red folder news for the week, and then I'm just waiting for red folder to inevitably move price, which looks like we had it today at 5:15 a.m. And was that our big candle? Yeah, it was. So we did have red folder today produce the Asia low sweep, and then we do have another red folder PMI coming up in 30 minutes here.
Somebody asked if it. So I don't have it's normally when I'm looking at the seek and destroy is when that the London session takes both of the Asia highs and the Asia lows. That's like when I see London take out both sides of the range, that's when I'm kind of getting seek and destroy vibes. But now, like if we look, yeah, we took out a previous daily high and took out Asia lows, but we came up and we jabbed it twice, and we're not really getting any displacement to the upside. We're not getting any displacement to the downside. So, like until we, kind of break one side of this range, we're probably just stuck in here, which it's probably going to do that for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. So that probably means you would wait in this case for the red folder at 7 a.m.
Yeah, it'd probably be best to do that because, like, even if let's say we did hop in a short down to 21,634, like, there's no saying that news can't come through and wick us out at
Certainly.
like, because I mean, for us to even have our play be invalidated, our stop would have to be like at the high from here.
Yeah, I like that. Well, in the meantime of waiting, I do want to ask you, Jaden, some questions about prop firms in general and your move into them away from private accounts. Because I was getting this question yesterday, was do you trade differently on props than you will on private accounts? And one of the main things that always comes to my mind is that props inevitably are a game that you have to play when your private accounts in your own equity is not. Do you find yourself when trading on props more so playing the game the props are setting up or trading it exactly the same you would with private equity?
And see, like I was kind of looking at this myself the other day, like just because, like going transitioning to the live account and like how you have to go about that, like compared to when I'm on my like in let's say an XFA, like I feel like when you're on these prop accounts, you have to be more aggressive, like when and taking profits. Like as much as I would love to, um, you know chart up an idea and it go all the way to full TP. Like I feel like, or like in I guess this could be with people, like in general, like they're always looking for too far of a target
Mhm.
when in reality the market's not ready to go that far. Like you could be right, but your timing is just wrong. And so like when I'm it's almost like it I've heard you talk about it before, but it feels like a game almost. Like with the
Yeah.
prop firms, like for me, like and I do want to hop on a personal account and just challenge myself. I know I've been saying it for a minute, but like at the same time the prop firms are just it feels easier just because like once you kind of understand how to play them, um
Yeah.
like then you can kind of just learn to take advantage of it. And like with Top Step, I mean, it's super simple. Like you get 5 green days of $200 or more, and then you get a payout.
Yeah.
And like something that I kind of like ask myself as well is like if I am on a personal account, when do I take profit? Like when does the money like when do I pull the money and let it hit my account?
That's actually super interesting you say that. Because with props, it's easy to determine when you want the money. Just like, well, it seems like I'm ready now, so I'm going to take the money out of the account. With a private account, I actually have not seen as many people actively remove money from their accounts like they do from props because props feels like it's not your money yet and you want to grab it. While in a private account, you're like, well, I guess I'm already making profit in here. I don't really need to pull it. So there's less profit taking in private accounts and more profit taking on props with less risk. And it begs the question is like, when do you ever move to a private account? Is it even worth it? To me, props almost always are one of the best options because of how low the risk is with how much you have to pay. Like, let's think about it like this. Like, Jaden, when you were first learning, you blew, what, 20 to 50 grand in options, right?
Yeah, I definitely paid in some market tuition.
20 to 50 grand in options. We'll put this into, let's just say it's $25,000, with Top Step, that's over 500 accounts that you could have had, right?
Yeah.
Like the risk is so low for you to attempt prop firms and be more aggressive. And this is one thing I want to start telling more people is it's okay to blow accounts. It's okay for you to be more aggressive on your evals and, take a mini in order to pass it. Your risk is 50 fucking dollars, right? You're not risk like the average option contracts we buy and signal out are like $200 to $300 per contract, which could average out to like 5 prop firm accounts. So something a lot of people who maybe aren't profiting as heavily as they see others profiting on prop firms, you need to understand like it's a game and people understand that if they're playing this game, they can risk heavier because their full total risk is maybe $200 max for a funded account.
Like for myself, like I've made a good grip of money now, so it's like if I do blow up an account, I mean it's like okay, yeah, I can
Yeah.
just hit the button. And because for me it's like when, if let's say I do enter like how I normally enter, and like if the trade goes 100 points and without, if I'm with my normal size, I'm I'm already so far away from the zero. And
Yeah.
I mean I don't like encourage the whole just freaking try and be a degen about it, but it's just once, if I'm on point with my trades and my analysis and like the whole execution, like I'm in that trading state, like there's it's just it's easier to get that ball rolling when I have like that cushion almost. And like because now I'm able to actually take more risk, and and I
Order
still
filled.
like manage it. It's just when you're dealing with, all right, if I start my account balance at zero and my drawdown is 4,500, if I get up like let's say 100 points on my size and that's 6 grand, like I'm already, I've increased my drawdown by 2K essentially, because initially it'd be 4K, and then it goes like it raises. You still there, Ty? Oh, you guys can still hear me? Okay, perfect. So yeah, I mean, I just came in, like I was looking at this video last night. Like, man, it honestly kind of brings some tears to my eyes, guys. Let me let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And I'm just kind of waiting for news to come through or see how we react at this one side of the range. Oh. I haven't watched over that M5 model Casper put out, but I assume I heard that it's a lot like the range or the opening range breakout, and you wait for that 30-minute close, and then depending on what that 5-minute fair value gap is. Like I shot this video with Casper 10 months ago, and
Order filled.
basically that's one, like,
There we go.
within like 10 months I made my first 20 grand, and then now look at where I'm at now. Like within that 10 months there's, I've made a good 6 figures plus.
Can you guys hear me now?
uh, oh yeah, I hear you, Ty.
Oh, there we go. The PC literally blew up mid you were talking. I had to restart the whole thing. Sorry about that, guys.
My forex factor.
All right.
Was,
So
was
let's
that
start
news
talking
that did that giant dump?
Yeah, at 5:15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are at 6:40.
Are you in? Oh yeah, I forgot Vegas is a little behind.
Yeah,
We
PST.
are prices.
Okay, so that's session highs that I'm noticing now.
Coming into the session highs.
And see, like another thing that
Question
even
is,
yesterday,
will
like
we
I
still
I
do this
wanted
price?
to go long, but I just wanted to retag that 1 hour fair value gap. Like yesterday we displaced the highs. Like we closed over the highs. We just didn't get the retracement that I was looking for. And then I mean right now I'm kind of getting the same vibes. Like it would have been nice to come sweep out this low, but
Yeah.
so there's still some time.
Meanwhile, NQ
Yeah, PMI
is a bit
in
further
20
away
minutes.
from anything that I would deem reasonable.
C4, it's the one I was trying to find it.
Which
Like
means
I shot it 10 months ago, and like that was right after I got my first few grabs of payouts.
we should probably make our way towards that on NQ.
We're talking about your big top set payouts.
No, my first ones, like my first ones ever.
Oh, nice. Did you notice your trading changed at all after payouts? Like maybe a little bit more reckless?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I wish that I was more in tune with like some of my journaling then, but like also at the same time, like not even just my trading, but like my whole mentality has changed. Um, but yeah, no, most definitely, because like in the video I was talking about like how I got those 3 payouts, and then all of a sudden, here I am getting reckless because I have made some money.
Yeah. That's usually how it happens. Oh, I made money, so I can risk more now.
Yeah, and I talk about like, oh, how I did that, and the market still is, even at that, after all that, the market still finds ways to humble.
Mm-hmm.
But it, mm,
Do you find on your live account that you have to trade differently than your XFAs?
well, I actually don't have the live account anymore, but I just ended up pulling the whole profit because it was just slower. Like
Yeah.
compared to the XFA, I don't know how to pull the live stream back up. Sorry.
We can still see you streaming.
Okay. No, I was just trying to like look at here.
Oh, the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. But yeah, no, just because like with that live account, you have a 3K daily loss
Order
limit,
submitted.
and so like
Order
sometimes with
filled.
the risk, like I could have just risked down and um been able to manage that more. But like, what's the point of having a 50K live account if I can't risk more than, let's say, like sometimes if I'm trying to go into some size, but even though if I am confident, I only have 50 points with my normal size before I get clipped.
Oh
And like
man.
that, and so when you have the XFAs, it's like, okay, not saying that it it's nice to let it go that far, but let's say I take one loss and then I have to significantly size down just in order to be able to take another stab at anything.
So what you ended up doing was you pulled all the profit from the
Yeah.
live, and then you restarted with XFAs.
Yeah. And then because like it was just way slower. Like I got moved to live in January and I was just going through the motions and not really pulling out any money. And then I'm just like, okay, here we are. Like even on days like I was saying, my ideas would be right, but uh my entries weren't as primed. So then I would get it clipped on my thing, or like I would get clipped on the limit and then watch the whole profit just or watch the whole trade go in my direction.
I see. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I see people are asking the question. Yeah, Jaden had a live account with Top Step. He was making too much money from the XFAs, and so they moved him up to live. Jaden, what's your total profit from Top Step payouts? Like a little over
Like
300.
we're at like 400 now.
400, yeah, so over almost 400,000 in prop firm payouts. If none of you know Jaden, that's kind of where his story really blossomed from. Is he's been making a massive amount from Top Step, and
Order
I think it's all
filled.
been within a 6-month time frame. Like now, what is it? About 8 months or something.
Like 10 months ago is when I
Yeah,
was talking about that video of when I got like I was up my first 20 grand and then within that 10 months was able to make another 380 plus.
yeah,
And like,
yeah.
I have like long-term crypto and the money's stashed away, so I'm in a matter of months my life did a whole 180.
Yeah, it's incredible. Do you think that if somebody gets moved to live, one of the better options is to remove the profit below the live and go back to XFAs?
Like and I would personally like to have a conversation with KJ himself just
Yeah.
cuz like he's he's got a freaking big ass account like and he's pulled 400K in one payout, from them. So it's just like I think it really just depends on what your goals are as a trader. Like to me, I saw it as a challenge, and like just because I pulled my money out didn't mean that like I didn't see it as like oh I failed, but like if I would recommend just challenging yourself if you do get moved alive, just because like okay, can you do it? Like can you keep this account alive? Can you trade this? And but like, if you're in it for the money, then I mean, there's really no point. We might have a 1 minute ILM here,
Order
but
filled.
We have news in about 15
15
minutes.
minutes. But yeah, so like it and like I've even been looking at other prop firms just to stay like cuz like we were talking about before. If I'm on the sim, and if I blow up an account, it's it's not as much risk. Whereas if I'm playing with my own personal account, like, and even just having the whole multiple account ideas, like I like having multiple accounts. Like how much, like my money slowed way down when I got moved to live compared to the sim.
Yeah. And when you moved back to Sims, did you go back to 150K accounts?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And when you're trading your evals for the 150K accounts, are you trading like 2, 3 minis?
Yeah, like, and sometimes I'll kick it up just to get it done with. Like, I'll sometimes jump into five, but like, I'm always trading like proper setups when I'm doing it. Like,
Yeah, so you're trading exactly what you normally trade, but you're increasing the risks just for the eval.
yeah, just to get it over with. Cause like to me, it's like, what am I doing on
Order
the eval?
filled.
I've gotten six figures plus in payouts.
Yeah.
There's really no point in me sitting here on the combine stage trying to take it, like make it take forever.
Yeah.
No, we're not in a trade, guys. I was just pointing out this 1 minute ILM.
Yeah, we're tape reading the 1 minute ILM, so we're looking at it right now to see if it would play out, but we're not taking it. For those that are new, if we do end up taking something, we'll tell you when we're taking it. We won't just be silent and take
If
something.
if this 5 minute inverts, you get a little more confirmation.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it'll give us it, with news coming through. Like, I don't know if it'll give us a clean entry, but I do like how this 15-minute failed to displace the high again. So we will see 13 minutes till this hourly candle close. And 4.
Nix is in 1 minute short. Which one is he in?
I would assume he's in this 1 minute ILM.
Okay, yeah, he's in this. I think he's in this exact one. Yeah, I looked at his page.
Yeah. I'm just a little hesitant with news coming through.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything until the news comes.
Yeah, and like we got these highs right here. That's I mean, it was the last thing I expected if we come jab these highs, and then, I mean,
So if you go to the daily time frame, Jaden, you can see that we do have like the last daily fair value gap block, which
Yeah.
is right below that pivot high. Yeah. So we have one last one that we haven't tapped yet. So it's an unmitigated gap currently. And considering how unrelentless these buyers are continuing to be, let me look at your screen. I think it's a little bit higher.
Oh.
We currently aren't in it.
yeah, it's I just kind of stacked them both.
Oh yeah, no, you got
This
it.
one
Yeah,
right
you
here.
got it. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like, because it just brings me back to Trump's first term, and here I am thinking like, trying to catch these pullbacks, trying to short when the market is inevitably just showing so much buying pressure, like, and that screwed me in 2019 or whenever Trump first came into office, and like, here the market's just going crazy, and I'm like, I am bullish, but I want to see pullbacks first, and when I'm not getting those pullbacks, it just kind of throws me off. And I finally got. I think I have all the pieces to the puzzle for my camera setup now. Like,
Okay.
I
There we go.
I went to Target last night and I needed these XLR cables to plug into, like, I got this amp for my mic, and I gotta plug one into. It's like it's been like putting pieces of a freaking puzzle together. Like, all right, I got this, and then all of a sudden I start setting that up, and all of a sudden I need more shit. And I'm just like, dude, like this
Just
the
use
XLR the
use some
XLR
Apple headphones.
the XLR cord I bought, it it's I guess you need like a male to male to plug this thing into my camera, and so
Yeah, you're just going through it right now, having to get
yeah,
all these
pretty
new
much.
pieces.
But it looks nice. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good. Martin, you asked, do you guys know if NQ moves because people are buying NQ or buying the stocks that pertain to it? So NASDAQ is the collective 100 stocks that are placed within it. NQ, QQQ, the NASDAQ are moving because of the underlying influence of the performance of those stocks. Now, NQ futures in of itself is a derivative of those. So it's a tad different than QQQ, but in of itself, we are moving because of the influence. So you can consider, just the main ones: Apple, Amazon, Tesla. If those are doing poorly, we're going to assume that NQ is also doing very poorly as well. And they move very much so in tandem, especially with the top 10 stocks in NQ. They have the primary weight.
Man, I seen you guys stacking them hood shares.
Oh man, yeah, it is undoubtedly my highest confidence stock going into quarter two. I mean, I still think I'm underexposed. I want more of it. Like, I want to keep buying.
Oh, why is it so bullish right now?
Well, one, the reason we picked up Hood in the first place. So for those of you that are wondering what we're talking about, Robinhood is one of my heaviest stock holdings right now. I posted about it on April 7th, April 8th. This is when we started to buy Hood when it was on about a 55% discount from the highs. And to be fair, much of the market was off 40 to 50, 60% in discount during that period. And that's when we started buying during the massive NASDAQ down move that was about minus 18%. The reason I chose Hood was not only it tapped its daily and weekly EMA, but if any of you have watched the keynotes to what Robinhood's planning on doing, Robinhood's not just a brokerage anymore, and they definitely don't plan on just being a brokerage for the future. Robinhood is planning to own crypto exchanges, be a crypto syndicate, they're an OTC broker. They are doing more. I think they're like 10x like Coinbase's revenue or something right now. They're looking to become a banking platform. They right now offer better reward. I have the highest status at Chase Bank at JP Morgan, and Robinhood offers almost all of the same benefits as my account that demanded a minimum balance that anyone can get. Robinhood is beating everyone on the banking forefront. I believe that in the next 5 years, me personally, a lot of my friends will probably move all of our assets into Robinhood's banking programs, and it will destroy traditional banking markets. They offer the highest cash sweeping programs that have attracted high balance investors. It's incredible what they're doing. They're putting their money where their mouth is. Yeah, they've made some mistakes in the past with FDIC insuring and broker inhibiting of the markets. I know we all know what happened with GameStop, but I don't think that is going to tell us what their future is going to be. They're going to be, and I'm betting on it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I told you guys it's double my normal size. Robinhood is definitely going to be my largest bet of this year.
Wow. See, I didn't know all that.
I do suggest if anyone has time to watch their last keynote where they talk about all the things they're planning on doing. And the fun thing about Robinhood is they tell you what they're going to do, and then like at the end of the keynote, they're like, "Oh, also, everything's active right now." Like they're not just telling you what's going to happen in the future. That day they activated it all. It's incredible. They had one in San Francisco a few months back, so they're doing it, man. They are going to kill bank. Like they are going to be the bank killer. So if you want to bet on a bank killer, if you think traditional finance has been traditional too long and it needs to be modernized, I think Robinhood's where you put your money.
I'm not worried, but I don't know if we'll get the cleanest entry in that 5 minutes, because like for this extra confirmation on the ILM, yes, this 1 minute gave pretty good entry, or like better risk to reward. And with this 5 minute, like by the time it inverts, is news gonna just jab us all the way down in one big candle, or is it going to give us a clean inversion on the 5 minute? Because if this 5 minute inverts, I think that it'll give us a clean move to the downside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I always say right before news is allow the news to play out. Wait like a minute or 2 minutes after. If it takes liquidity, then we're going to have a model show, and then that's just what's going to. That
Right.
will be where our mind has to go. But before the news, I have no idea what's going to happen next. That's why I have to wait. Like, I don't even what news do we have? PMI. Like, yeah, this is going to be a pretty big move.
Then, I guess also, are you still bearish on crypto? I seen
Yeah.
your idea kind of changing with the USDT.
Yeah, so I am still bearish on crypto, but I'm becoming less bearish. The whole idea for me to have a complete bearish thesis is eventually Ethereum has to trade at about 2,400. If I could get it 2,300, so it just takes all of the liquidity from its range, and then I can restart and start
Mhm.
rebuying again. But we've been sitting in this range for like almost a whole month. Like I think something has to happen, and my belief is a big cascading candle to the downside really is what would be healthy for the market, and it would get a lot of late buyers out and restart a lot of the funding rates. USDT is looking very bullish right now. I mean, it's looking almost identical to the last time ETH ran, So it's hard for me to like buy or figure out a place to buy because I'm just buying at the same price Bitcoin or ETH was 26 days ago. Like I feel weird doing it. I'm like, I would rather buy higher than current price right now if it at least showed me displacement, but I don't see trend, and I feel awkward buying in a place where there isn't an established trend yet.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure this is the same price that they've been at since like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 20. If you bought in 2022 or 24, like it really hasn't moved.
Yeah, it's hard. I know people ask me like where are the crypto plays? I'm like, honestly, like me not taking plays right now is the most profitable thing to do. This range isn't something that you should exactly be trading right now.
Yeah, I wish I had the mindset I did during the first bull run when I was in Playvik, because you guys absolutely went on some heaters.
And trust me, people go on like these big heaters, but I see so many people online give back a lot of the profits they make. Like one of the hardest things to do after going on a really big run is just stopping and like refreshing and getting back to like a solid state where you don't have all these endorphins running because of the mass profit you made, and then coming back to the market later. Like I'm sure, Jaden, after you made some major payouts, did you stop trading and kind of take some steps back, or did you like just keep the heat going?
I actually went on vacation, a couple of them, and then like it took me a second to even get back in the groove, and like I started to rush it, and so I even right now like I was up pretty decent for the month of May, and like trading is something where you're super focused on what is going on, and to be able to perform. Oh, there's news, and then
The
to be
market
able
is
to
open.
perform.
Holy shit! What a fucking gap down. MNQ looks like it had a massive gap. Yeah, look at MNQ.
Looks like that 1 minute ILM is playing out.
Yeah, that was an aggressive sell.
That's funny. That's fucking
Oh
funny.
wow.
Oh my god, that's funny as shit.
On the Nasdaq chart, it doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, MNQ chart doesn't look bad. That MNQ gap down definitely blew some accounts. But as you were saying, Jaden, you kind of went on vacation after your massive run. This is actually really good information for some people.
Yeah, no, because like in order to perform at that high level and like be able to, be on point every, like, you're trying to be on point every single day of the market. Like, it's mentally draining. It takes a mental capital to sit here day in and day out and make money. And like, I see a lot of people that make a good amount of money in the markets, and they just, they do the same thing. They make a good grip of money, and they'll take like a month off. I mean, if you just made, six figures, seven figures, whatever it is, I mean, even if it's right there, like, what, I mean, that's enough money to at least do something. And but I feel like you need to reward yourself for the hard work that you've been putting in. And so even right now, it sucks because I want to go on a vacation so bad, but I'd be going by myself, and so maybe that's just something I need to do anyways.
Yeah.
Because that's just like, man, I want to go somewhere for like a month or something, and I just, it's like, damn, I'm gonna be in this whole other country for a month by myself.
Traveling alone can teach you a lot about yourself.
Order
I'll
filled.
tell you that. It is a fantastic. Once you get used to it, it's probably one of the best ways to travel. It is awkward at first if you're not used to it.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy myself, but I just know, like, when I'm with like some friends or something, tend to enjoy myself a lot more.
Absolutely. Quick update, guys. There's been no orb closures. There's also been, I don't think, a 5-minute ILM either.
I know all them dudes in EU over there. I was thinking about that too. Is Hez still here?
Yeah, Hez is still here. I'll be in Europe actually for the next like 4 months, starting in July.
Well, and what was I gonna say? I guess, and like when you're over there, there's so many places you can go just by hitting a train.
Very connected. 1 minute 45 for an orb close to the downside. This will also produce a 5-minute ILM, without a doubt giving us the draw being 21,655. Just like Jaden was saying, even if it does come to these lows, it's difficult because the model will be, halfway played out already, and you had to wait for news.
Like that 1 minute ILM was pretty nice. I mean, we got a 1 hour fail to displace the highs. We have the 1 minute ILM here. Did anybody take the 1 minute ILM? I know Nick's called it out, but it looked like he got stopped out. I wasn't sure.
I think he stopped. Yeah, he got stopped.
He got stopped.
Because to be fair, that 1-minute ILM, if you were to take the 1-minute ILM at close with stops above the highs, actually, no, it would have worked out. Yeah, stops above the highs would have been 35 points. It wouldn't have been bad.
And like, for the model to be invalidated, that's where you need your stops. So it's like, I understand the whole trying to manage risk thing, and I do it too. But for the model to be invalidated, you'd want your stops at the high.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Glacier's actually still
caught
in position.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, that's exact. He did it perfectly. Yeah, stops above the high. TP at what looks to be, maybe this is like what, London low, I think, right now. I know it's not Asia, but yeah. Okay. Orb closes in 6 seconds, but it is nearly fully played out. And your stop loss at 50% of the range looks like it's 60 points.
Order filled.
Not the most convincing situation.
Yeah, and like, I'm interested to see how we're gonna react. Like, I think that we're gonna come down to this 1 hour or H4 fair value gap, and so I'm a little cautious to see how we react there. Like, just given what the market is doing right now, we're failing to displace the highs. We're starting to displace down, and there's our orb close. And so, like, we have these Asia lows right here. I think that we will revisit those. If we can get an orb retest, I wouldn't mind grabbing a short.
Also, orb retest could potentially mean an M5 ILM retest. I would take the short as well, considering I'd have two different models telling me the exact same thing. So undoubtedly, the idea right now for the rest, I don't think we have any more news today. Let me confirm. Yeah, no more news today. The bias will be down. I'm long on gold just to give some updates. I do have a gold long position right now. I'm expecting gold to go up. So I have gold options, GLDs, which means I suspect that indexes will move down as well.
Yeah, it looks like this might go without us. And then, like, you know, if with these H4 fair value gaps here, it's gonna be a minute till this H4 close. Like, I bet you could even hold it down to like the second H4 fair value gap. Like, I bet we would fill this one, and I guess it's all just a matter of waiting. But I mean, if you look at H1 right now, like, this is a pretty big candle, and like even M15, M5, like, news definitely came through. And like, you know, I like, even when it was there, I had even seen Knicks call it out too. But I mean, I was seeing this M1 ILM, but with the news coming through, it was hard to just, you know, we could have just gotten wicked out, and then the play went.
Yeah.
Chauffeur, I don't know if I would really be
Order
looking
filled.
for an ILM to the upside. Like, we won't know until we get there. But right now, this
Order
selling
filled.
doesn't look very convincing right now to click the buy button. If we do get down there, or like, if we do come here, we'd want to see aggressive buying come through in the other direction.
And one thing for everyone to note too, what Jaden brought up is actually extremely important. If you do go to the 1 hour time frame, we can see that we failed multiple times to close a 1 hour candle above
Okay,
the
so here's
highs
what
that
I'm
were
looking at
produced
right
from
now.
Tuesday.
Um,
Multiple times.
in
Two
the
different times
Q-
at 5 a.m. and 3 a.m. And then, of course, 6 a.m. when we had the massive move
M&Q
back down.
orb
That's the low, by the way, that just got hit.
play is in place.
And also, 4 hour candle failed to close as well.
The London
Yeah.
low
So
is hit.
this is in real time the definition of sweeps and displacement. We're seeing that there's a reversal
But I
set up to the
think
upside with
I'm
sweeps
looking at
and
something else
potentially
that I'm
a
seeing.
larger move down in order to collect all of the
A
sell side
larger move
liquidity.
in play.
Good stuff, Glacier.
So
I'm
what
interested to
seeing
see how we
is
react at this H4 fair value gap.
Clean this up. a
Most
little
definitely,
bit.
we're drawing to it.
So the orb broke. We are retesting the lows.
Well, here we go with
From the
gold.
overnight.
Finally, nice little leg up. I'm expecting a really
The question
decent move to come from
here
gold soon.
is if we continue below here, I'm gonna hold
I have over $20,000 in options on this right now.
the
My.
orb.
You're in GLD longs?
Yeah, GLD longs.
to- So this is what I think.
Oh
is
wow,
attacking.
it's ripping.
This
Are you
is
still in
what-
AG? Have you still
No,
started?
I don't have any AG, unfortunately. I know
Uh,
it should also do well. I mean, if gold does well, AG should fucking
you
rip.
cheated, bro.
Order filled.
I mean, to be fair, man,
Order filled.
AG ain't moving like gold, bro. It's been 400
Yeah.
days at the same price. Like AG is, I know AG is like a leveraged gold play almost, but if you look at GLD versus AG, like there's
Order
a
filled.
complete disparity between what both perform.
Hmm.
I mean, like go back and forth on the weekly time frame for AG and gold. Like just
So
like go back and forth. Like it's
here's what I'm
insane how
doing.
different they are.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff's just mooning.
based
And
on
AG,
this,
I mean, it's like any pump that it would get,
fact
people
that
would
we're
just come
taking
through
those
and take some
lows,
profit.
Yeah.
And then it
I
would
need
go
to-
right back down. Like, I do think that, I agree, like, AG is probably going to come back up to this $9 area.
I think it moves. I think it does do well. Undoubtedly will do well. But if I'm going to stack a whole lot of cash somewhere,
Order
I'm
filled.
probably going to do gold instead, just because it moves a little bit slower.
Wow. Did ES end up tagging that low that I was looking at?
No, massive SMT actually.
So
Don't think it tagged it. No, not.
we took the level. We're bouncing off the level. I don't know how far we
Yeah, they
get
both just swept Asia
into it,
lows.
but I'm still short from up here.
4.
Um, our targets are going to be 50%.
NQ barcode back.
Session
Here's the
high.
retest. No displacement.
VWAP.
Sweep of low, and then what looks to be an exceptionally small ILM.
Potential or retest here.
If I take orb, I have to figure out what my stop parameter will be. So this will look like
this. 0.92. About 40 points. I'm gonna jump in a little short here.
And you're going to go with a stop at 50%, which also means you're, if a close happens outside the ILM.
Yeah.
I like the direction.
I want to see this this H4 fair value gap get tagged. I mean, we have a 5-minute ILM. We did take sell side liquidity right here.
Mhm.
Is this going to be enough to jab us up? I mean, this reaction off the lows on the 1 minute doesn't look very promising, but I mean, I did say that if we did get this orb retest, I would take it.
It will be difficult for NASDAQ to come through and tap 50% of the orb range, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, M15 closes in 2 minutes.
Yeah, guys, I see some of you guys questioning gold. My gold contracts are options. I don't have like futures. I'm not like
Order
trading
filled.
GC futures or anything. Just to update, retest orb short position is now going active. 50% of the range. This will also be technically the ILM will fail that produced the down move.
Order filled.
Yeah, no GC futures. I don't touch those. I'm going to be going into this with a half position for you guys to know. I'll end up adding as we start breaking fair value gaps to the downside. So this is previous day high. 50% of orb is also exactly the previous day highest price as well. Gold. Oh my. Oh my.
And hopefully is it still ripping?
It is. Yeah, I mean, it just broke its yesterday's high.
What we want to see is us just react bearishly out of this 5-minute fair value gap and just continue. To me, Rocco, I like it. I mean, we have an ILM confluence and we have an orb confluence. The only thing that is throwing me off is that we have swept some sell side liquidity. So if this fails, you know, we one sec.
The setup would be rated 4-star.
Like on the 1 minute, this, you know, we came to this low and we're pretty much, you know, we printed these 2 1-minute fair value gaps.
Yeah, also ES. Good catch on that. We have equal lows on ES right now that have not been taken out yet. So if NASDAQ's taken its lows, ES has not. False breakdown. Potential come into the OB and the ILM here. Retest, which will be the only point at which we'll have our inevitable sell-off. What do you trade options for gold? I trade for gold. It's GLD. Yes, Reiki Bulin Ramon. In a half risk position, the idea is to get reactions from the order block in ILM. If we react out of this bearishly with displacement, we're going to assume that the equal lows on ES will eventually get hit.
If
But
if we invert this M5 fair value gap without clipping us out, I'll consider stopping out a little early. Just because then, on that lower time frame, it could still move down to this area, but
yeah,
I mean, we swept these lows right here. This 5-minute inverts. There's potential 5-minute island back up. So, I'm just trying to be a little cautious. We failed to displace the lows on M5 and M15, and there's still 43 minutes left of this hourly candle.
yeah. So ES previous day lows will be pretty much a first goal, which will put us around about 1.7, 1.8, and then inevitably we want to get below the M15.
And there's the retest of the M5 ILM.
Todd just said, "Oh, go for it."
I was just gonna say I like the confluences to bring us down to at least this one standard of the orb and this area, the H4 fair value gap.
Yeah, currently in shorts, guys. Currently in shorts.
We've retested the M5 ILM. We're creeping back in the orb range. Still 2 minutes till this 5-minute candle closed to confirm that higher time frame in there.
And this would be like a picture perfect trade if we didn't sweep the liquidity already at these lows. Then we'd be extremely confident with this. But because it's already swept the liquidity and had a bullish reaction from it, we assume that the lows have buyers and we'll have a difficult time getting past them once we get closer to those. So as we get closer to those lows, we start to look to take profit off.
Um, 737. Do you ever add into your positions, Ty?
Yeah, lately in the last month and a half, I've been using a new model to start entering in with more. So I would only average up, to be fair. So I won't average down, but I'll average into it if it's technically winning trade. So I'm not in drawdown. Sergey, yes. I'm going to start replying your guys' comments.
If this M5 inverts, I'm going to soft stop out. So M5 candle has closed back into the orb range.
Yeah, it's half risk, Bunny 10K.
Yeah, that's an Uber driver. Oh, fuck women. Ladies. Yeah, it's a Sprite. Follow the lap. Trust the lap. What's lap backwards? Pal. I'm your pal.
You want a shot?
Yo, shoot my shot. Yeah. 6'3", 7 inches. Hey, man, you gotta start walking around. You're freaking people out. Yeah, they never seen a
Rentals in
freak
the
before.
hamster,
Shot.
Nice.
You're
You guys
so
keep sending me
you're
all
so
those bearish
funny.
real estate news.
You're so funny.
I fucking
Women want a
love it.
man
I don't
in
know what DRV is
motion.
doing right now.
We gotta stay in motion. The crypto market, like a lot of times it's going up, but it's going down. Like you tonight.
What?
Shot.
Perfect.
Dude, how much farther are we gonna go? The lap
Not yet,
continues. Yo, I
but
got mad
eventually we
chicks
will.
DMing me. They're on the way.
I shall be laughing.
She touched my hand. Big dub. It's like too loud. I don't think the women can even find me. It's like
How
when you're
much?
looking for parking, it's gotta be quiet. I think I'm gonna
DRV's
go
a swing
celibate.
trade. We
Yo,
bought
me
DRV
tonight
shares.
with the ladies.
If you're bearish on real
Just
estate,
me. Women don't do that. I'm more
not
like
many
a
people are, but
speakeasy
you
guy
are.
anyways.
Can I get a number for the card?
She wants the
RV.
number, fellas. Lock in.
No, room number. Room number.
Basic
Oh, you
Panda,
wanna
I'm
go
not.
to the room?
The only reason I didn't take
Fellas,
that
we're
island
in.
long
Lap
is
stops
I'm
here.
just not
No, I
convinced
need to
that
charge
these
your
are
card.
flows that, like, yes, we have swept out a lot of sell side liquidity, but I feel like that this is the ultimate draw right here, and you know the play that I'm in.
Charge your
now
room.
definitely-
Oh, you need a phone charger in the room? Yeah, let's
doesn't
go.
have
Call my
to come
dad.
down
Call
here.
my dad.
But
Go to the lab. Have they opened
have a
doors
5
yet?
minute
I haven't seen any chicks
came down.
yet. Yeah, that's an Uber driver. Oh, fuck women. Ladies.
But is that enough? And like for me, I mean, just the reaction off a previous daily high. Like, notice how we're failing to displace these highs. And like, yes, there was an entry model up here, but news came through, and so I'm just, you know, to me, I think that we still have a leg down. And like, we have this ILM after taking previous daily high. We have the OR break. And like Ty was saying, if we didn't take this low at first, I mean, I would be a lot more confident in this trade.
looks like if any of you guys know Ben Mala, someone just told me he sold all of his real estate. That's insane.
Ty, I'm gonna move my stops to the high right here,
Absolutely.
just to minimize risk. Because if this thing keeps pushing up, like, I'd rather take this.
No, I like to see it. I like to see the adjustments in real time because this is what you do on your real accounts.
Yeah, and like, I just don't want to see price come back up here, and like, just to save myself 20 more points if it wants to go back up there.
Yeah, because that actually cuts the stop loss in half. So you move to a half hour risk. Correct, just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You guys, wow, it looks like a lot of you guys are selling your rental properties, huh?
My stops right now, Tomislav, are right here back at this high we just made at 21,737.75. 21,737.75.
Yeah, I see it. Nice. Yeah, so now half risk on Jaden if you took full risk, and then quarter risk now if you did half. Hard stops for me, Doja. How heavy allocate are you to DRV? It's a little bit more than normal. I would say it's about 3.5% of the account.
My hard stop is 21,737.75. Just because, you know, we have swept these lows right here, and I don't want to see us start to push up towards this 50% range. Like, if we do start pushing from these highs, like on the 1 minute, we do have some bullish reaction. On the 5 minute, I mean, not enough to have me convinced, but we have failed to displace these lows on these lower time frames. And so, potentially, depending on if we do come back up there, I'll have some more juice to be able to grab another short, depending on how we react.
And Jaden, how many minis do you trade with on your fundeds now?
I mean, it's normally just 1 to 3, depending on the setup.
Okay. Yeah.
Like right now, I'm in 2.
Okay, yeah, so a little bit less risk than normal, but not full risk.
Yeah. Just to like, if we get to my first TP, I can trim one and then hold the rest to. Like I can trim one down here if I don't get stopped out here,
Nice.
and then potentially depending on how we react at these lows, if we come down to them, I have some juice to hold, and then like that's typically where I'll set my stops to like break even.
Yeah, if we take liquidity in any way, stops to break even makes sense, but nothing yet.
Yeah, and I might get tagged out here early, but
I mean, this will be an insanely small loss. This will be quarter.
yeah. And I think it's just off that failing to displace these lows, but we had the 5-minute ILM retest, and yeah, I got stopped out.
All right, journal up.
I do think that we still end up moving down, but like right now, this hourly candle, like if this thing flips bullish,
Yeah, that was like less than 120. I'll take that all day. So stopping out here early means that we'll potentially have a closure on this 5-minute. Yeah, good move actually. You literally moved it over 25 points, which yeah, that's over half the position saved in one move.
yeah. And like I just didn't want to see it come back up here because of just that reaction after taking some of that sell side liquidity. Like, and if we do invert this M5, like, okay, instead of 40
Order
points,
filled.
now it just got clipped for 20. And like now, if a move presents itself, I can always jump back in.
Love it. I'm gonna journal this one real fast.
Hey, good morning.
No, it definitely won't be end of the day. I'm gonna try to continue. This is like the lowest amount I think I've ever risked. Normally it's either half or 1, but a quarter means I can trade a lot more today. So we'll shoot again. I mean, at least I will. I think. It's up to Jaden
Yeah.
more
No.
heavily.
I'm willing to shoot again.
It has to be perfect. Again, let's go back through the idea here is we have a big sweep of these lows, right? Huge sweep
Filled.
of the lows. Orb gave us the breakdown here, but we couldn't take Orb because there wasn't exactly a decent risk to reward. Orb closed 40 points outside the range. Retest plus ILM retest. Attempt the short. Move stops as the short was moving in our favor.
Order
Got
filled.
clipped out. Quarter risk or half risk. Now we're sitting in the midpoint of the range. These are the most difficult areas to trade within, are these right here. When you're just in 2 big points of liquidity. The market's going to choose one side and then displace the other. And until you have that displacement, you're just sitting and waiting for the next model to show.
And now we have a M5 ILM to the upside, so we potentially could come sweep out the highs again. M15 failed to displace. There's M1
Oh my God,
ILM
gold.
down here.
You know, gold constantly displacing to the upside right now leads me to believe that NASDAQ is getting ready for its drop eventually. The deviation between these.
To me, it looks like they've been like almost moving. Like
Order filled.
For a moment there, they were moving pretty similar. Like, is that like that's not good, right?
No, I mean, we saw them moving similar beginning of the year, but we did see the deviation when NASDAQ dropped 18%. in February, April, we saw gold moving up the entire time. So what we want to see is them moving separately, and typically that's what you get is like a separate movement where gold's moving up while NQ's moving down because one's a risk off and one's a risk on asset.
And like I'm watching to see how we react at this this 50% line, because this is where previous daily high is, like you were saying.
$727. With 5 news, why trading? I don't know what. We don't have any news anymore. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all news is done for the day. Guys, would it be better if you guys call twice before taking trade and write short or long on chart? Yes, I mean, that's exactly what I did as I put it on the chart for you guys. ES high of day nearly almost at 6,000 here with NQ lagging behind quite a lot.
Yeah, at this point I think that we might take another jab at the highs.
Order
I
filled.
mean, this hourly candle is starting to look pretty wicked with this giant wick down.
Newman SMT alone isn't enough to short. You have to wait for the entire model.
Yeah, me personally, I'm not much like I just look at it as more so like, okay, ES took the high and Nasdaq didn't. Like I it's hard for me to base my trade idea off of that, because sometimes when I'm looking at it as, oh, we have SMT here, and I enter the play on the one that swept, and next thing I know it pumps back up for the other asset to sweep. So like I need to get better at like learning when SMT is really confirmed.
The only main SMT I like is when NQ is taking a higher low and ES isn't. That's pretty much one of the only ones that I enjoy using because it generally signifies a direction.
Um, I can't believe it front ran that H4 fair value gap. Because like I would have felt more confident clicking the buy button if we did come to this low at 21,635, the one I was targeting on the short. But
It looks like it was within
it left it there.
5
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, and see that we would have got stopped out of that orb short.
Yeah, smart move on the adjustment.
Because if we were gonna react pretty bearishly from that M5 ILM, and the orb retest, like I don't think that we did get this kind of aggressive move off of these lows. Like once we did sweep out those lows, and like these 1 minute candles were engulfing, and I was just looking for a bearish reaction out of this M5 fair value gap with the orb retest. And mainly just because I kind of got glued to that idea of us coming to tag this H4 fair value gap, which lines pretty similarly up with this H6 fair value gap, and kind of look at it as like a IRL to ERL, and then start to buy.
Yeah, I would prefer for some type of high time frame PDRA to hit, even if it's the daily, because the daily is still, I think, 400 points above us. Let me check. 280 points above us, or the fair value gap below us. Either or is completely fine with me. At least one of them should hit. The one below us is only 120 points now. Oh my GC. Well, gold is having a fucking amazing day. Perfect right after we buy these longs. Silver with no movement. Chipotle, hey, Chipotle 4% day. We're back. It all works out. It all works out. Give me the gold move. Give me the Chipotle move, even if I can't get the NASDAQ move.
Wait, you said you're in options on GLD?
Yeah, GLD options.
See, now I wonder if we start to dump, we've tagged the 50% of that range. Right near that previous daily high. 21 minutes left of this H1 candle.
Hey, ES draw, without a doubt, is its equal lows. It has picture perfect equal lows at the moment. It was close to being the M1 Island retest, but I don't think it actually hit it.
No, it would have had to have tagged this previous daily high.
Yeah. Close, but not there.
And like then, as we get later into the session, it's kind of hard to just, without taking some sort of liquidity like that, another thing that I'm always telling myself is no raid, no trade. And I guess, on the flip side, we did raid down here, but I got stuck on the idea of us coming to tag this low, and it did front run it. And that's not saying that we still can't come back down there. But then we're just,
Oh my god, gold. Holy shit.
is it really running like that?
It's still going. Look at the H1 right now.
I mean, Jesus, look at that M1. This thing's just printing.
More. I need more. I need literally a minimum. A 20% on gold move this month. Back to a gold all-time high this month. Holy shit. No sellers on gold at all. Very nice. Very, very nice. Cashew laughed trying to trade NQ and he killed his GC trade. Dude, I'm up literally $6,000 on gold right now. I bought the gold options yesterday on stream with you guys.
Oh wow.
That's why I have gold on the bottom right of my screen just watching this. Absolutely print to the highs. Bonds breaking out. Oh shit. Look, gold's breaking out. Bonds, new high, new weekly high. Not good. Not good for indices. Another macro correlator to bear sentiment. And look, even though we have all this macroeconomic data screaming bearish sentiment, real estate's bearish, bonds are bearish, yields are bearish, international bonds are more desirable than US bonds, government debt isn't exciting anymore because of the rates it offers, and NASDAQ keeps printing green candles. That to me is, I mean, it screams to me that I haven't seen data like this since COVID, and the candles keep going up. They keep going up and up and up. No one's selling it despite the data and despite the environmental conditions, which leads me to just want to wait and wait and wait for it to happen and not keep buying. Because you guys have noticed I've been selling long-term positions. I've been selling crypto, all at massive profit. AVGO, Roblox, 70-80% returns on equity. That's not a leveraged position, in order to prepare myself for a potential market downturn. Yeah, the gold trade was live from yesterday. It was a swing trade we took yesterday. You can watch yesterday's recording, and you'll see it. Yeah, it wasn't just live too. I posted it. It's in my channel if you guys go.
Oh, what dates do you have on them? I guess I'll just go look.
I have GLD 320 calls at an expiration of July 18th, so 7/18.
Do you plan on holding for the whole month?
Oh, yeah. I'm not
Order
selling anytime
filled.
soon. I don't know if I'll, to be fair, I don't know if it'll be the whole month, but if gold takes its range highs at 3,417, I'll be probably around like 15,000 in profit, which I'll probably sell half of it. Yesterday's recording's not showing on WAP. Really? Are we missing recordings? I see them all in a row. May 22nd, May 23rd, May 28th, May 29th, May 30th, and then June 3rd. Oh,
it's because it's in the free public product.
Yeah,
so it's not
that's
here.
right. It's it is showing, but you have to go to the free stream, which is a completely different WAP. That is.
I'll
Yeah,
get
sorry,
it.
that is
Yeah, sorry.
confusing. I forgot about that. It is, yeah. So yesterday's recording is still here, but you have to go back, and then you'll find it. Do you ever trade single stock futures? Single stock futures. What the fuck is that? I don't mean to be sorry. I don't mean to say it like that. I don't know what that means. Single stock futures, like leverage on
Order
like.
filled.
Hunter said they don't have them anymore. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that answers the question. I guess I can't even trade them if I want.
Is that like NQZ or?
Oh, they're on international markets. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I do not trade those.
Or NDQ, I think.
Do I trade ILM on crypto? Absolutely. Just not that often anymore. Look, the same problem we're having with NASDAQ and ES being like stuck in a range is the same problem you have in crypto right now. Bitcoin's the same damn price. 25 days, same price. ETH, I think it's the same. 25 days, same price. So, if you haven't noticed, when price stagnates for an elongated period of time, profit margins go down as
Order
trading
filled.
range bound like this isn't exactly optimal. I will tell you what, 60 to 70% of my total year-to-date profit generally comes from massive swing trades. Like, trading futures day to day is great, and I make a decent amount of money doing it, but swing trades is where I absolutely fucking flip the bank. It's also where I can, put 5 to 10% of the account in a singular position. Right? I'm not putting 5 to 10% of the account in a day trade, but if I got an Ethereum position testing weekly, daily EMAs, right? Bitcoin's broken out to its all-time high and ETH is lagging. Yeah, I might put 15% of my account on that trade.
I mean, you do it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's the confidence factor too. It's like if you're watching something on like the daily time frame, the 4-hour, it's not going to play out in like 1 day or 2 days. You may have to
Order
wait a
filled.
week, which means you can size into it fairly heavy without having to really blink an eye about intraday movements.
I suppose that your risk is already calculated, but like, when you are holding those trades for longer dates, like, let's say you are holding a position for a month, and I guess it would depend on if it's equity or options, but how are your emotions when you're in those types of plays where
Yeah, they've definitely changed over the years. Nowadays, if I have a position that's a little over 10% of the account in full risk, I'll find myself checking my phone more often while I'm just out. And I think it's a human emotion I can't get past because I've always done it. I'm always checking to see what's going on. Like for my ETH trade, for example, where I pulled I think it was 160 grand off it. I was checking it all the fucking time. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys like when I size heavy, I'm a fucking stoic investor. Like I definitely check it. I'm looking at it, probably 5 times a day to see what ETH is doing. But one thing I don't do that actually separates myself from those emotions is I don't touch my broker. I'm just looking at TradingView, so I'm not swapping my stop loss or my TP. The risk is managed. If ETH hit a certain point, which I forgot what the stop loss was when we took the trade, it would take me out of it, and that's the one thing I don't do. So it's okay to size heavy and be slightly curious about what it's doing every day. I don't think that's exactly a poor outlook to have. Is if you're checking it constantly, I don't think it's too bad because I do it myself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you take the trade and don't look. If you have fucking $800,000 on a trade, yeah, feel free to fucking look at your TradingView a few times. Just don't touch your broker at all.
Hey, I don't know if I'll be able to catch another jab. It looked like that initial move was just with that news volatility.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little over half an hour. Yeah, 40 minutes, no movement, volume. Yeah, as Brian said, volume could have died here. I'm still under the impression it's a bearish session, so the Nasdaq candle today will close red. That's my assumption. Is today's NQ candle closes red, which means a 37-point move to the downside. I guess it's not much, but that's the inevitable idea. Here you go for my retail guys. Here's your OG 2020 head and shoulders pattern. There you go. I haven't seen this in so long.
What is that? Is that on the Nasdaq?
It's on the NQ. Yeah, bonds are moving up heavily right now. Again, bonds up, gold up. The bias stays the same. Like nothing's changed to force me to think that NQ is going to continue. The only downside I really have is the fact that NQ at the moment is above all of its relevant EMAs. So definitely doesn't help me. I don't like that NQ still is above the M15 EMA, and I have a bearish outlook. I'm sure you guys noticed that trading against the M15 bias does hurt consistently.
Silrak, so like for me to, like, ideally, if news wasn't here, like, you know, I wouldn't be sweating my short if I was in up here, like, you know, if as long as I just keep my stops at the high. But what's throwing me off is just like if we look at the hourly candle, I mean, just these bottom wicks that we're getting, it could play out. You know, there's still 3 hours left of this H4 candle, so like I could see us coming down here within the next 3 hours. But I mean, the last line of defense, like as in terms of something to enter off of, because we don't really have any sweeps of liquidity in this range aside from down here, is like, I mean, honestly, just an orb break. And then like I wouldn't want to see price come back up to this 50%, right where we,
Order
you know, we
filled.
tagged it, and then now we're starting to move back down. But if that makes sense, like really the only thing here that would make sense is an orb break, because we've already swept liquidity. We've swept liquidity at the highs, we've swept liquidity at the lows. Like now we're just in the middle. So for me to feel like I need to go short, I mean, the last thing that I could see is an orb break. I mean, maybe another jab up higher, only because we have, like, we did sweep some little internal liquidity on M1 with these highs right here. You know, we have these little highs that did get taken out, but because I'm kind of with Ty, like I have that bearish bias.
Don't know
but
what
then
to
I
do with
asked
our hands.
myself,
They
like,
all
for
over the
today's
place.
session, was this a sell session? Did we take out enough sells right
This
here?
video is proof that men don't know what to do with
Or
our
do we
hands.
draw
They
this
all over
higher
the
time
place.
frame P array, which would be this H4, which lines up with the H6 fair value gap. On H4, we have inverted this top H4 fair value gap, but what bothers me is, never mind, it's right here. Like we have taken this buy, we swept this buy side. We're starting to, or we swept the sell side, and now we're starting to invert these H4s. So, you know, I don't know if we come jab up into this wick block or sweep out this high. Like I'm interested if we do, before getting any bearish reaction, if, you know, how we react at this high, because I'd be inclined to, you know, sell as we come up into these daily fair value gaps or at this high. But the reaction off of this low is pretty you know, it throws me off in terms of entering another sell.
Yeah, it's a convincing move from the early session, which unfortunately is the only real bad part about the short trade today.